Why did you make this?
Just so that if Mum and John talk about family members, so that the carers know who's who, and to give them some kind of background. Mum sailed over to Canada on the Empress of Britain. I think that was about 1958. She had quite an adventurous life. I think it's that thing about, I'm always interested in carers who ask what she did. I like the people who come here and say, you know, and what did she do? Not as a little old lady in bed. And that's what she is, you know, that she had a life.
I like carers who are friendly, who are not afraid of them at all.
Who's your favourite, John?
Well, Terry's a man like a sort of male nurse. On Tuesday I draw my pension, and then we have a walk around the town. Well, of course, it's nice going up on a Tuesday, because we can go in there, what's the name of that restaurant? Starbucks. Terry comes up with me and we have a cup of coffee. We sit there for an hour and watch the people going past, like.
Mum's wish was always, she looked after her mother who had Alzheimer's for about 15, 20 years. And when she was diagnosed, she said to me, I want to stay in my own home, that's my wish. And that was always the thing that I worked towards with the other agencies. And I think just probably about 14 or 15 months ago, I began to wonder how I was going to do it. And I think that was the point when I rang Sil and spoke to Helen, and she was just wonderful. I think we talked probably about an hour on the phone first.
So when we started with the support, it was at a much lower level. John and Maya, they're older, they're in their 80s, so they have needs typical of older people. I think what characterises that service and what makes it unique, in my opinion, and unique to Sil, is the fact that is the way it's evolved with the changing needs. So we started off with that support, it was about a year ago, and it was a much lower level of support that was required, supporting John and Maya, who are brother and sister, in their own home, both with their own independent lives.
So I think the main difference is that Sil works in a chunk of time rather than, so there's no 15-minute calls or half-hour calls. So it runs very smoothly for us. I'm not in such a panic. When I go back, I can just forget. I ring in the morning, check that everybody's all right, and then I just forget about it.
I think it's the difference between the type of service, where with a 15-minute call, you're just providing for people's basic needs, you know, washed, fed, dressed. We see it as much more in the whole person, in providing them with the opportunity to grow and learn to be independent if necessary. I think the most important thing is our belief that people should be supported at home. You know, we're very against the idea of people having to go into institutions.
We find that health and social care professionals have come to us because all other options and avenues have been exhausted, all the other agencies have been got through, and we come with a more creative approach to say, well, look, okay, this hasn't worked, that hasn't worked, how can we set this up in such a way that you will get what you need from this support. So what you would see if you look across the board, all our supports, is all the service patterns, the way in which the support plans work, they're all completely different. The crucial element of it is to getting right. It's actually very simple, and it's about the quality of the relationship between the support worker and the service user.
I think the sort of key point for me was we had a terrible Christmas. Mum was obviously getting less and less well, and she had a month in hospital at the beginning of the year when she was really poorly, and then came home and was then in palliative care. And So I went back to Helen and said, look, the package that we've got obviously isn't going to be enough. I'm going to have to come down. Can we look at, this is my suggestion that I've put together, can you have a look at it? And Helen came back and said, I think we can do better than that. And I think that was the kind of turning point for me, where I just thought, my God, your expectations have been lowered so much, because you're constantly told with other agencies, you know, that they can't do this, they can't do that, they can't. You hear a lot about what they can't do. And to have someone actually come back and say, oh no, I think we can do better than that, is just such a revelation. Everyone talks the talk, you know, all the agencies say that they do personalised care, but actually still do it